Today we are going to learn how to use adjectives in Spanish. The first thing we need to talk about is that Spanish nouns have gender. There are two types of gender, but since we also have singular and plural that affect adjectives, I like to look at nouns as four different types of nouns. We have masculine singular nouns, feminine singular nouns, masculine plural nouns, and feminine plural nouns. You can look at the ending of the nouns, but the most certain way to decide if a noun is masculine or feminine is to look at the el, la, los, or las. So those are labeled here. If it's masculine singular el, feminine singular la, masculine plural is los, and feminine plural is las. So there are basically two types of adjectives that end in o, and then adjectives that end in consonants or e. So if your adjective ends in an O and you want to describe a masculine singular noun or a noun that starts with L, you're going to keep the O ending. If your adjective ends in O and you want to describe a feminine singular noun or a noun that starts with la, you're going to change the O to an A. If you're going to describe a masculine plural noun or nouns that start with los, you're going to keep the O and you're going to add an S to the end, all one word. And if you want to describe a feminine plural noun or nouns that start with los, you're going to change the O to an AS. There are also adjectives that end in E. These adjectives can describe masculine or feminine nouns. So if it starts with an L or a la, if it's masculine or feminine singular, you're going to keep the E. You don't need to change it. And if the noun starts with los or las, or is a masculine or feminine plural noun, you're going to add an S at the end. And lastly, we have adjectives that end in a consonant. Adjectives that end in a consonant are also going to stay as they are if you are describing a masculine or feminine singular noun or nouns that start with L or la. But if it is a masculine or feminine plural noun, nouns that start with los or las, you're going to add an es. So now if we're going to create sentences and you need to say something is something, you want to know that is generally es. And if you're going to say some things are something, you would use son. So for example, the skirt is pretty. Skirt in Spanish is la falda. And then we're going to say is, which is es. Now notice la falda starts with a la. So our adjective pretty, bonito, we're going to change the O to an A to become bonita. La falda es bonita. And lastly, we have the pants are big. So pants in Spanish are los pantalones. Are in Spanish is son. And then big is grande. Grande ends in an E. So we just need to see if it's a los or a las, which it is. So we're going to add an S to make los pantalones son grandes. Gracias.